What's up, everybody? I am Lamar, and this is just a quick political media drop in, if you will. I've been on a bit of a bender about this whole Ice Cube stuff. And the more I watch, the more I be like, what's going on? What's wrong with our people? So let a few people get in, then I'll start my rant. When you come in and say hey, say what's up, so I know you're here. And we'll rock and roll, get started. We share. So let me get my green screen right. There we go. Let's see. Okay. So basically, Ice Cube. Let me see if I have any photos of Ice Cube. Ice Cube, I think everybody knows what's happened by now, right? That he has a contract for Black America. And he reached out or was reached out to by both campaigns, Biden and Trump campaigns, and in hopes of possibly working together, right, to do something for Black folks. Trump came out with a platinum plan, which includes what he wants to do for the Blacks. And about 4 or 5 things in that plan mirror things that were talked about with Ice Cube. So they listen to some degree. Of course, they're not going to do every single thing that he's asking, but they listen to a point and utilize some of the stuff that was in his plan. Ice Cube, for those that don't know, that's Ice Cube. Right? I might have someone pop on in a minute with me, but anyone that wants to come on, let me know. I'll bring you on. We can have a dialogue and chat about this. My bender about this today is more so about an interview that Ice Cube did on the Roland Martin Show, which angered me a bit. Roland Martin had him on, and they chatted a taste about asking did he sit down with Trump, and Ice Cube made it very clear that he's never sat down with Trump. He never met Donald Trump. He basically sat down with Donald's people. And as a result, got some stuff put into the platinum plan, which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome, by the way, because one of the problems with Congress folks, people in Congress, is that they try to get the whole pig rather than just the chitlin. Just get a little bit for now. You're a little bit at a time, because you ain't gonna get the whole pig at one time. That's one of the reasons we don't get stuff done. It's one of the reasons stuff don't get done in Congress. Both sides are trying to get the whole pig at one time rather than the pig feet or the ears or the tongue or the chitlin, which I so love, that delicacy, slave meal, chitlin, pig intestine. I'm from Dallas, some country, so you know. So in this interview with Roland Martin, it was going well. I feel like Ice Cube was explaining himself wonderfully, and it's almost like he got ambushed by Roland and this lady he had on. I forgot her name, Alicia Garza or something like that. So he had Miss Garza to come on. And Miss Garza talked. She represents. She went through a list of things she represents, but Black votes count. Black votes matter, I think is what it's called. She asked him about Black Lives Matter, and does he think Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization, as Trump has said? And Ice Cube said, no, I don't. Who is that, Janice? Who can catch it? Who can catch the middle finger? Which might Cube, Roland, or Trump? I'm curious what your thoughts are in between talking about. So basically, he explained no. And her thing was, she feels like that because Trump has said so many horrible things about Black folks, that Ice Cube should not have sat down with Trump's people. Even though it got results, even though a few things from the contract that Ice Cube put forth were added into the plan, she still feels like perhaps he shouldn't have. And the more I listened to this interview, the more I realized something else, that it wasn't really about Trump. Because Roland interjected, and he was like, well, the Congressional Black Caucus reached out to me about this too. And they provided me with this list, and he provided a whole list of all the things that you're saying you want on the black contract, black agenda. They've itemized all these things that you've said. They've put in bills of what they want, but Trump and the Republicans have refused to take a look at it. Which I'll explain the reasoning for that in a minute. So all in all, I took from this interview that Roland, this lady he had on, and the the Congressional Black Caucus, one thing that angers them, they're upset that Ice Cube has basically circumvented them, used his celebrity to get a seat at the table and have something done. They feel like, because the lady kept saying, I've been doing this for 20 years, basically told him he needed to get in line rather than going around them. Roland basically told him that he needed to partner with the Congressional Black Caucus and other movements rather than working this on his own. Basically telling him, Negro, sit down. We've been doing this for a long time. If you're going to do something, it needs to be through with the gatekeepers, is what I took from that. And I think that's absolutely stupid. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think Ice Cube got very defensive and was offended, as well he should have been. I was offended for him. It's stupid that people that have been working towards the civil rights movement and for all these years, people in the Congressional Black Caucus, people like this lady that was on, you're saying you've been doing this for so many years, and yet one guy can come in and get some stuff added into a bill, regardless of the reasoning why it was added into the bill, which I'll go into. You're upset about that because you want to be attached to it? I think at some point we have to get ego out of the way, because we don't all have to be a part of one organization under a particular name to get things done. Ice Cube did a great thing. He got some stuff added. That's progress. No matter how minute that progress is, it's progress. Is that what we're looking for? Congressional Black Caucus, yes, you had lots of opportunities. People that have been in, for instance, Maxine Waters, been in Congress for decades. Yeah, you guys are making some progress, but no one has to go through you and partner with you to get things done, because this is not just a political issue. People in the Congressional Black Caucus, you have to play politics to get things done. When you're not in power, you got to kiss butt, you got to kiss toes, you got to rub shoulders, you got to promise stuff that you can't deliver on. You got to do a whole lot of things to get things done in Congress. Ice Cube didn't have to do that. So I don't understand where the issue lies. Therefore, it has to be ego. It has to be ego. Y'all talk to me in the comments. What do y'all think? I know people now, everyone's going to agree with this, but that's my thing. Congressional Black Caucus, which is made up of Black Congress folks in Congress, have an interest of their own. And they have interests of their own. However, and they have power. They have power. But Congress is a very tricky place. A person outside of Congress should not have to partner with you if they don't want to get things done. Because to be honest with you, just like Ice Cube did, they're going to get stuff done easier without you because it's all politics. Trump will be more prone to listen to someone that's not in Congress than he would someone that's not. It is, I mean, because while your bills that they said they submitted with some of the stuff that Ice Cube asked for and got, it wasn't just that in the bills that you guys put in. You guys wrap big bills. Y'all wrap up these big bills and y'all put these super important things in it, but it's wrapped in this whole big old bill of stuff that y'all know for a fact that the other side is not going to go for. And you do that for a reason. You do it for political reasons. You put this big old bill, it's totally against. Let's say there's an abortion bill, for instance. Let's say let's not do abortion. Let's say what's a big one for Democrats? Say Democrats want to make it law nationally that transgender people can choose what jail they want to be housed in, like they done in California. So they want to make it a federal thing, right? And they know that Republicans are going to be totally against that. They're not going to go for it. But what they'll do for political gain is they'll make that's the main bill, but in that bill they'll put, we're also going to make lynching a federal, make it a hate crime. We're also going to we're going to create opportunity zones. We're also going to make Juneteenth a federal national holiday. So when the Republicans vote against that bill, when Republicans vote against that, then you can say, oh, the Republicans voted against making Juneteenth a national holiday. Oh, the Republicans voted against making lynching a hate crime. Oh, the Republicans voted against. It's all politics, and both sides do it. So I'm not buying what the Congressional Black Caucus is talking about and what they used, what's his name, Roland Martin, to try to go against Ice Cube with saying that they've been trying to do this stuff. You're wrapping it up in a whole big bill of crap that you know the other side's not going to go for. You're playing politics. Now, Janet says, I'm tired of these super woke folk. They are splitting the vote. We need that fool out of office. That cannot happen when folk don't vote or vote green or whatever. You know what? I agree 100%. And I really believe that Ice Cube feels the exact same way. I don't believe Ice Cube is trying to get anyone to split the vote. Ice Cube is simply trying to set a standard for anyone that's in office. One thing that he said is, he told the lady that was going against him that if Biden don't win, we're still going forward with this. So you're going to have to work with. There's a chance you still might have to try to sit at the table with Trump to get stuff done, or if not, we're going to sit for 4 years and do nothing because you refuse to negotiate, play ball, or battle, talk to. Do a deal with a person that's a racist that you don't like. No, we can't do that. So in the instance that Biden does not win, still got to talk to President Trump, still got to come to the table. It's going to be even harder then because he ain't going to have nothing to lose because he's in the second term. So it's a standard set. The standard is set not just for Trump, but it's also set for Biden as well. Biden told Ice Cube that he's not interested in talking about it right now until he wins. I think that's stupid. I think that was a mistake. So if it splits the votes, it's because Biden is handling the situation wrong, in my opinion. Mr. Mann said, I think Cube is doing what's necessary to invoke a change in the right direction. Yet we have these critics who have plenty to say, but they sit back and do nothing. That is so true, Mr. Mann. 100% true. We can't continue to allow politicians, whether Democrat or Republican, to take the black vote for granted. And that's what Ice Cube is saying. He's getting it started now versus after the fact. He's not saying don't vote Biden. He's on board with getting Trump out of there. He's on board with it. He believes we need to get Trump out. We need Biden. We need change. But Biden needs to understand, too, that it's not going to be just the easy road. You're not just going to get in there and voila, black folks help you get in office and you don't have to do anything for black folks. This is what we want. Do you want to keep our support? This is what we want. Trump, do you want black support? This is what we want. And because Trump is such a narcissist and he's all about winning, he's not really a politician. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get a vote. So right now is the best time. The best leverage with Trump is right now. Because after November 3rd, if Trump wins, nobody's going to have any leverage. Nobody going to have, unless the Democrats get the Senate. Unless the Democrats get the Senate. Now, and let's look at that situation. Let's say the Democrats get the Senate and continue keep the House. So we're going to have a Democratic-controlled Congress that are going to put forth all these pretty much they should be able to get anything approved through the House, through the Senate, right? It should be very simple, but the president has to sign it. So is he going to sign or is he going to veto? Is he going to sign or is he going to veto? And guess what? That game that's going to be played is the Democrats putting forth legislation and the president vetoing it. But Congress can overturn the veto of the president, but you need, I think 3/4 of the Congress, which includes Republicans as well. So we know that's not going to happen. So the thing is, you're going to have to negotiate no matter what. You have to negotiate. I don't care. I was talking to Ricky earlier. Rick, he was going to come on. I think he got busy. And we're talking about, he was like, Trump has said so many horrible things. He's a racist. So what? What they got to do? So all someone has to do is say some things you don't like or they're hurtful for us to decide, we're not going to try to come to the table and have a say in how the country is run and what black folk get. We still need to have a say. We still need to have influence. So what? We're too emotional. I think we know who he is. And this lady kept trying to tell Ice Cube, he's Trump is this and Trump is that. And I'm like, we know. You're not telling us anything new. At some point, black folks, we got to stop harping on what the person is. We already know what he is. We know he's a racist. We know he's this. We know he's a horrible person. He's horrible to everybody. We know. Now what? We think it's getting back at him by not sitting down at the table with him, demanding what we want, putting pressure on. He don't care. It behooves us to try to get a seat at the table. He don't need to. We sit back and do nothing, he'll be fine. So I think it's ignorant. It's emotional. It's stupid. It's immature of us because we don't like what he says, or we think we believe he's a racist, to just sit back and do nothing. And I commend Cube for doing something. I think it was wrong of Roland Martin to try to ambush Ice Cube with this lady saying that Cube went about this the wrong way and that he needed to partner or utilize or go through the gatekeepers of the Congressional Black Caucus and other black activists that have been fighting this great fight forever and minimize and deduce what Cube is doing because he's just not coming on the scene in a political fashion and presenting this contract and has made some important steps and gotten something done in a short amount of time. I think that's stupid. I'm so sick of these old politicians and warriors for black folk. Go sit down. Let's get a new breed of folks in. I'm so sick of them. It's all about ego. We need change. We need things to happen, and we don't care about your ego. So all big ups to Cube. I just want to come on here and rant a little bit about that because I think it's absolutely asinine. And as I said in a previous video, when Biden wins, which I believe he's going to win, the pressure is going to be on. It's not going to be presidency as usual. There's change that needs to happen in America. And since so many black people are sitting back doing nothing and refuse to have a conversation with the current president, we're going to have to put pressure on the new president to do something. But there's going to be people that say, no, we didn't require Trump to do nothing, so why were we requiring Biden to do stuff? Which is stupid. So, because when do we do stuff? When do we put the pressure on? When do we apply the pressure and have expectations for the people that lead the country? It's okay. I understand, Janice. But let me know what do you do? What's the alternative? What do you think Cube should have done? Think he should have just said nothing or stayed quiet? You think he should have waited till after Biden gets elected? I could see that argument. If that's the argument, I can see it. If you're saying that the timing is wrong and that he should have waited till Biden got elected, I could see that argument as well. I think that would have been fine as well. But in that, you're taking a great risk, because what if Biden doesn't get elected and we have Trump again? No problem. And then we have Trump again and for another 4 years, and there's no regulating him, if you will, because he's not worrying about getting reelected because he's in his second term. And we've not started the conversation on what black folks want. There's been no steps taken. There's been no promise. There's been no nothing. We're starting from ground floor. Then what? So I could agree with you if that's the case. If you're saying timing is wrong, but I think the timing is impeccable. This is the only time that we have leverage. Well, I won't say, I will say we. This is the only time Black folks have leverage with someone that we perceive to be a racist. Is when they need us, they need our support, they want our support to try to get reelected. That's the only way we have leverage. Otherwise, we're not going to have any leverage. So the risk is try to get a seat at the table right now while he needs us and he's willing to will and deal, and get a little bit of something. Or he end up winning the re-election and all is lost. So, it is what it is. We've been going in this circle since the 60s, 50s. Black folk we can't all get on one accord. There's ego involved with old politicians and old warriors for Black folks. People that are fighting a good fight, that feel entitled. It used to be Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson had that entitlement, feeling like everything needed to go, like they were the messiahs for Black folk. Everything had to go through them. I'm glad they're not in that mode anymore. But we shall see what happens. So for Democrats' sake, Biden better win. And Biden better be willing to listen once he gets in there. Otherwise, we're going to be in the same cycle of complaining and nothingness that we've been in for the past few decades. So it is what it is. Comment below. Please subscribe. I will talk to you guys